Yay-Z, you know the chop. I.S.U.P.K. Badness no sir. Let me tell you how the badness steer. Dopey bad fly when the Glock display. Tell a boy say no try box this face. Back switch face. You know how your blood clot casket stay boy. You must see one Baptist prayer. When the map stick raise that big straight. Shot misplaced. The key them in your head stop misbehave. Crack his face. The key never tell us we lock this place. Which locksmith anyway watch this place. War with them bunny like plastic plate. Hey, we don't play around. When you see the U.P.K around, we bring the fucking AK around. AR-15s and AR rounds. We don't play around. When you see the U.P.K around, we bring the fucking AK around. AR-15s and AR rounds. We no take drape up, we no take bait up, we no stay up. And when the next day come, we no change up. Man, I act them bad as them wake up. Take care, boss boy, head top shake up. So tell a pussy hold down, violate us. No care where you status, where you take up. Every man a killer till miss a dead face, you straight up. Great stuff, one Westling bigger than NATO. Man we boss it to NATO. Only man we afraid that are the creator, the maker. Hey, we don't play around. When you see the U.P.K around, we bring the fucking AK around. AR-15s and AR rounds. We don't play around. When you see the U.P.K around, we bring the fucking AK around. AR-15 and AR rounds. AR-15s and AR rounds. AR-15s and let me tell you how the badness steer. Dopey bad fly when the Glock display. Tell a boy say no try box this face. Back switch face. You know how your blood clot casket stay boy. You must see one Baptist prayer. When the map stick raise that lick straight. Shot misplaced. The teeth them in your head stop misbehave. Crack his face. The key never tell us we lock this place. Which locksmith anyway watch this space. War with them bunny like plastic plate. We don't play around. When you see the U.P.K around, we bring the fucking AK around. AR-15s and AR rounds.
Yeah. Hey, make me go again. Yo, I one west to the death. Yeah. Fuck everything else. Big boot on me fringes. Girl, I tell me say she love the way how me change it. Everything sign and seal. Then I tell me say she love the deal. Yeah. Big boot on me fringes. Girl, I tell me say she love the way how me change it. If I know you pick my youth, me I tell you no straight out. And I'm in business. Yeah. Man, I move real heavy. 20 man, I jump out a couple Chevy. Well, serious. Man, I look happy. Wrong move, turn a boy in a dopey, them a waste, man. Them a talk about me, but me no care, man. After everything else, me still be upon. Cause the truth me attack, and the truth and the part me escape on. Yeah, delivered it on fire. Everything up in the air like fire, bonfire. But I can't tell ya how all of me dead soul, let them have to rise in power. Liar, SHALAM. This year what for my brothers and my sisters. We get caught off early. Big boot on me fringes. Girl, I tell me say she really love all the changes. If I know you became my youth, me I telling me straight out. And I'm in business. Yeah. Big boots on me braids, man. Yeah, me not left me shades on. Special type of gun for this occasion. Hardcore, can't tip on me right hand. Everything talking real neat. Tell a boy I come just shoot him, no see this great. Him a trouble for breed. Me conscience it a speak. Rats and snakes, them throat get slit. Yeah, me give them the realness. Don't start freak out when 200 million of me niggas them out. Yeah, shot in a face, shot in a mouth. Rise it up, balance the soul reaper. Make evil safer. Yeah, well I know what I say. And the truth though, I saw the thing go man. Move. Big boot on me fringes. Girl I tell me say she love the way how me change it. If I don't know you picking my youth, me I telling no straight out. And I'm in business. Big boot on me fringes. Big boot on me fringes. Boot on me fringes. Yeah, I'm told. One West or nothing else.
Shalom, Israel. What's going on? What's going on? To all my black, Hispanics, and native Indian, to all my brothers, I say shalom, Yahbashim Yahshabarakatam. To all the sisters, I say shalom, Yahushamara Tabashim Yahushai. I'm Precinct Officer 1000 out of y'all with the I.S.U.P.K, which is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under the commanding general YAHANNA. You already know. Joining with me, you understand? We have Officer 1000 Zabaja, you understand? From Toronto, Canada. We have Officer 51 Chapter 1, you understand? And you already know we have Officer 50 Barakala, you understand? Let's get it. Now you already know, those that don't know what is the I.S.U.P.K about, you understand? What are we about? Well, it's simple. You understand? We're here to give you the knowledge of this Bible. The same Bible, you understand, that's taking dust in your house. The same Bible that you hate. The same Bible that you don't know nothing about. We're here to give you the light of the Bible. Just like Christ told us to do. Just like Christ was doing, man. You understand? And we are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. You understand? Like and share this class, all right? So this is what we do. And in this world right now that we're living in right now, we could see a lot of things that is against the Bible. Prostitution, drug, homosexuality. You understand? A bunch of nonsense that we see. Let's give me a second. Water, please. You understand? A bunch of nonsense that we see out there. You understand? And one of the nonsense that we see that we're gonna see, you understand, that's gonna happen, that people are gonna follow, is Father's Day. You understand? Father's Day is completely nonsense, just like Mother's Day. You understand? And I.S.U.P.K, we're gonna attack every other false doctrine, every demonic, you understand, pagan feast day. We attack all of them. We touch on all of them and show you that it's not of God. Understand? It's a matter of fact, it is against God to celebrate Mother's Day. It's against God to celebrate Halloween, to celebrate Valentine's Day, to celebrate, you understand, Father's Day, Christmas. You understand? None of these things, you understand, are with God, are things, you understand, that you could say, you understand, that God agrees to. All of these things are against God. Why do we say that? Why do we say that? You understand? Meanwhile, Father's Day, you understand, is supposed to be a good day. You show some love to your father. You give him, you buy him some tools. You understand? And one thing I never understand, Akim, why they always give the father tools to work. You understand? Why it's always tools, man? You understand? But anyway, these things we're not supposed to do, man. And why do we say, you understand, it's against God? Because it is not according to the will of the Most High. If I ask anybody, where's Father's Day in the Bible? Where can I find? What can I see Father's Day in the Bible? Nobody could. No Christian could show me Father's Day. They're gonna bring you to the verse that say, "Honor your father and your mother." Of course, we are for that. You understand? We are no honor our parents. You understand? In the I.S.U.P.K. How do we do that though? Is it by celebrating Father's Day? Is it by celebrating Mother's Day? La, which means no. You understand? Honoring your father and mother has to do with you following what God says to do, man. When you follow what God says to do, these laws, these statutes in the Bible, that's how you understand you honor your mother. That's how you respect your mother. That's how you respect your father. That's how you show that you love your mother and your father for real, by doing what God says to do. I can't be a drug dealer my whole life, man. I mean, this whole time. You understand, selling drug and taking some of that drug money and buy my father a gift and say I love my father. That doesn't make sense. I can't be somebody, you understand, that killed my own brother, my own reflection, my own race, my own kind. Then after that, you understand, come Father's Day, well, Father, I love you. No. It doesn't work like that. You understand? This is called hypocrisy. You understand? Matter of fact, why is it in it? You understand? Where could I find, you understand, those days that are elevated, you understand, in the Bible? Where can I find them? Understand? Matter of fact, what does the Bible say about it? Understand? Akim, can y'all hear me really good?
Come, sir.
Most High in Christ. Somebody bring me to Ecclesiasticus chapter 33, verse 7. Bible question.
I got it, everyone.
Come on, please go ahead.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 33, verse 7. Why doth one day excel another?
Stay there. Why is there one day that's above another day? Just like we have Father's Day, we have Mother's Day. You understand? We have, you understand, Quebec is going to celebrate the Saint John. You understand? With this Saint John in French. You understand? Saint John Baptist. You understand? Why are those days elevated, you understand, in the white man kingdom? Why? Because that's their culture. But according to our culture, there's some days that are elevated, and there's some days that are normal days. You understand? How do we know which one are we supposed to elevate? Keep on going.
When as all the light of every day in the year is of the sun.
You understand? Every day that goes by, you understand, is the sun. The sun shines. That's how you know that's another. We have another day, right? That's how you know there's another day that comes forth, because of the sun. The sunshine, you understand, for every day. Just like Saturday, which is the Sabbath, the same as Sunday, you understand, which is after the Sabbath. You understand? When I mean so the Sabbath, meaning from Friday afternoon, you understand, sundown till Saturday sundown. We know that's the Sabbath, but that's another day before the sun got asked to shine. You understand? Sunday, the sun will shine again. Monday, the sun will shine again. So how do we know that which days are to be elevated? Keep on going.
Verse 8. By the knowledge of the Lord they were distinguished.
By what?
By the knowledge of the Lord.
No, Salakia priest. By the Salakia priest. By the Saltus.
By the knowledge of the Lord.
Understand? By the knowledge of the Lord. You understand? And where do we find the knowledge of the Lord? In this Bible. The same Bible that some of you hate. The same Bible that you don't know nothing about. The same Bible that you don't take time to read. And the same Bible that you don't follow. Meanwhile, you're going to follow Father's Day. You know what? I know that, you understand? One day is above another day because of the knowledge that's in this book. You understand? And this is our culture, black man. Black woman, Hispanic man, Hispanic woman, Native Indian man and woman. This is our knowledge. This is our wisdom. Just like the Bible says, you understand? This is our wisdom. This is how you understand? You see that somebody's wise, somebody's knowledgeable by this book right there. You understand? Not by the Saltists, not because of the religious days, you understand? Because of religion, tell you to celebrate, you understand? Their holiday, their feast, you understand? Which coincide with all the pagan feasts out there. No. But by the knowledge of the Bible, by the wisdom of the Most High. Keep on going.
By the knowledge of the Lord, they were distinguished. And he altered seasons.
They were what?
Distinguished.
Distinguished. What does the word distinguish mean?
One.
Go ahead, please.
Set apart.
Set apart. You understand? They were distinguished. They were separated. You understand? Now, by the knowledge of the Most High, we know which days we have above another day. We know which days, you understand, we got to celebrate. We know which day we got to rest on. We know which day, you understand, we got to do what we got to do. Understand? And there's another day, that's just another regular day, another slave day, you know, in this kingdom. You understand? There are some days that are above other days. How do we know that? By the knowledge of the Bible, which means what? Which means it has to be in the law. If it's not in the law of God, if it's not our culture, our custom as Israelite, that's not our day. Understand? This is just another regular day. This is why I asked, you understand, where can I find Father's Day in the Bible? Nobody will be able to show me Father's Day in the Bible. Why? Because it's just another regular day. Keep on going.
Verse 9. Some of them had he made high days.
Some of them made what?
High days.
Some of them he made high days, you understand, which means holidays in our language today, which means special days. You understand? Some of them God made high day, holidays. You understand? Feast days. You understand? Rest days. They are above the other day. How do we know that? By what's in the laws. Keep on going.
Karawakan. And hollowed them.
And did what?
Hollowed them.
What does that mean?
Salak, one. It would be to be made holy, so to separate
Set
them.
apart. Exactly, to be set apart. You understand? God made them to be set apart. You understand? Father's Day is not one of them. Mother's Day is not one of them. Christmas is not one of them. Halloween is not one of them. Valentine's Day is not one of them. But we just celebrated the first fruit. That was one of them. You understand? Today is the, you understand? We just passed now the Shabbat. You understand? That's one of them. Not Father's Day. Keep on going.
Karawakan. And some of them had he made ordinary days.
Just like Father's Day. You understand? Make them ordinary days, just another day in this life. You understand? It's not a day, you understand, for you to celebrate your father, celebrate your mother, you understand? Give chocolate, you understand, to your girlfriend and everything. You understand? Write poems, you understand? That's not a day like that. It's just a regular day. Instead of using that day, do it every day. You love your father, show him you love him every day. You love your mother, show her that you love her every day. And the best way for you to show her that is by you keeping the laws of the Most High. Understand? Keep on going.
Karawakan, verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
And all men.
Drop that. Bring me to Leviticus chapter 23, verse 1.
Karawakan.
You understand? Now, I'm going to show you what God said. Now you see exactly that God said there are days that, you know what I mean, that are above other days. You understand? Now, the question that we need to ask ourselves, right? If these days, you understand, that God made to be elevated, to be holy, to be sanctified, where does, you understand, those holidays of those, you understand, oppressor, Father's Days, Mother's Day, where do they come from? Who created them? Who told you? Who told us that, I mean, that these are the special days? What is the root of it? And that's one thing that we don't do, especially, you know what I mean, when we're in the Christian mindset. We don't use our mind and be like, where does this come from? We only see, you understand, everybody doing it and we follow through. You understand? Which is against God. You got to be able to prove exactly the origin of what you follow. If I ask any Christian out there, where does, you understand, what is the origin of Father's Day? None of them will be able to answer. You understand? None of them. So you just follow everybody, right? Which is also against God. God says what? Do not follow the multitude in doing evil, man. So how do you know if it's good or evil? If you understand? If you don't even know the root of it. Understand? Go ahead, also Barakel.
Karawakan, Leviticus chapter 23, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying,
go ahead.
Verse 2. Speak unto the children of Israel.
Now speak to the entire world.
Speak unto the children of Israel.
Speak unto you, Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. These laws that God gave to Moses, they were for you. And they are still for you today. These same laws that you refuse to follow. And this is why we're still stuck in this hellhole that we live at called America. Why? Because these laws are for you. These laws are what, you understand, will build your kingdom, will bring you safety, will make your family stay solid. You understand? Like this, you won't have an headache with your rib. Your rib will be pleased with you. These laws are what, you understand, govern the body of Israel, man. Govern, you understand, the body of a house, man. Without these laws, you have what you see today. Ghetto. You understand? Hurt, pain, drug, prostitution, rape. Without these laws, this is what you see. Now, are you happy? Are you happy with what you see? Is this what you want in life? I hope not. Us in the UPK, we want different. We want glory. You understand? We want to live in a kingdom when you understand where righteousness reign, man. And we're gonna do it with these laws. Keep on going, officers. Barakallah.
Khan. And say unto them concerning the feast of Yahweh,
Go ahead.
which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations.
Now, just like we read before earlier, right? God made special days. Now, this is what you're reading right now. Leviticus chapter 23. Those special days that God elevated, sanctified above other days. You understand? You want to know where they at? Leviticus 23. And there are also commemoration, just like in the book of Esther and so on. Man, you understand? The book of Maccabees, you can see some certain commemoration that we have. It's like Hanukkah. You understand? But these are the days that God elevated, man. You understand? These are the days that we're supposed to follow. You understand? These are the days we're supposed to, keep sanctified or sanctified. I don't see no Father's Day when I read the list. I don't see no Mother's Day when I read the list. So the question needs to be asked, right? Where does it come from? Well, Akim, you know what I want. Let's go to Wikipedia. Something simple for the young man. All right. And hey, Sister Jazz, hey, Shalom. Sister Yahushua Tabashim Yahushai. Sister Raya, what's going on? Shalom. Sister Yahushua Tabashim Yahushai. Like and share this class, all right? All right, let's get to Wikipedia. Let's go see where Father's Day come from. And that's what you should do as a person that claim to love God, that claim to love, you understand, to want to follow God. Everything that you do in this empire, look it up. Where does it come from? You understand? Those long eyelashes, you understand? I know some of y'all look, think it's look good. Go look where it comes from. Everything that you do, you got to look where it comes from. Is it matching the Bible? Is it matching what our culture? If it's not, where does it come from? You'll see. You'll be shocked. Let's get it out here.
Khan. So this is from Wikipedia.org. It's on Father's Day. It says Father's Day is a celebration honoring people's fathers and celebrating the fatherhood, paternal bonds, and the influence of fathers in society. It was first proposed by Sonora Dodd of Spokane, Washington in 1909.
By who? By who?
Sonora Dodd of Spokane, Washington.
Okay. So I came, right? So I see a lot of black people celebrating Father's Day. Understand? We touched Mother's Day, right? We touched Mother's Day. We saw that Jarvis, you understand, devil, you understand, Anna Jarvis was the starter of Mother's Day in the Americas, right? Now you have somebody else, you understand, that started Father's Day. So since I see a lot of black people doing it, is that a black man or black woman? Is that person, you understand, you name? You understand what? So Nora, so that's not a black woman, that's not a black man, right? But we got to celebrate these things. And after that, we're going to say we are free. You understand? And after that, we're going to say, you understand, well, we don't have no chains no more. Well, those chains are in your mind, man. Especially for the Levites, Akim. The Levite constitution, right, says not to follow none of the culture or cult, we could say, you understand, of the oppressor. That's inside of the Constitution of 80. Meanwhile, Asians are, you understand, Levites are big on Father's Day and Mother's Day. If I don't call my fathers today, you understand, wish him a happy Father's Day, he might not even talk to me for the rest of the year. You understand? Well, so be it then. You understand? We don't compromise in the UPK. You understand? We don't compromise in the UPK, man. We don't sugarcoat in the UPK. You understand? I don't call my mothers for Mother's Day. You understand? She hate me. She might hate me for it. Well, you know what? So be it. You understand?
Right.
We don't compromise in the UPK, man. You got to be strong. You can't be a coward. You can't be ready to sell out for anything, for a few likes. You understand? In the UPK. You got to remain solid. You got to have a backbone. And that's how you follow God, man. You can't follow God without no backbone, without cojones, like they say in Spanish. Understand? Keep on going, please.
Come on, sir. It is currently celebrated in the United States annually on the third Sunday in June. Father's Day was inaugurated in the United States in the early 20th century to complement Mother's Day in celebrating fathers, fathering, and fatherhood.
To do what?
To complement Mother's Day.
So what does that mean, to complement Mother's Day?
Salakia, other one. If I may, it's because they started doing it for mothers, so they said, let's do it for fathers too.
Exactly, you understand? Like, you understand, we got to give the fathers something. Well, we did it for the mothers, so we got to, you understand, we got to find a way, you understand, to make the fathers happy too. You understand? Otherwise, it will be like, you understand, biased a little bit, you understand, feminism a little too much. You understand? We do it for the mothers and the fathers don't get nothing. Keep on going.
Okay. Father's Day was founded in Spokane, Washington at the YMCA in 1910 by Sonora Smart Dodd, who was born in Arkansas.
Which means Father's Day there, man, it started, you understand, just like Mother's Day in America by a white woman. Is that what you're telling me, Ak?
Come on, sir.
Yeah. So that means we said, well, that means everything that we celebrate is just another, understand, Edomite or white culture. So this is what you celebrate. This is what you celebrate in, you understand, today. White culture, not even your own. And you think you're free. You think you're not in slavery. You understand? The only reason, you understand, they took away those chains is because now you are completely destroyed. You will follow anything. And as I love to put it, you became domesticated. Just like a cat, just like a dog, just like a horse, just like a sheep. You became domesticated, and that's why they took the chains off. Because now you will be celebrating Father's Day without even asking questions. Now you will celebrate Mother's Day without asking questions. You will celebrate Christmas, Valentine's Day, your birthday. You understand? Meanwhile, where was Father's Day for all the black men that were lynched? They didn't respect black men back in the day. They didn't respect fatherhood. They used to make fathers rape, you understand, sleep with their own daughter in breeding farms, man. Where was Father's Day for them? Oh, you don't think about that. Well, we do in the I.S.U.P.K. You understand? Keep on going, please.
Sir. Her father, the Civil War veteran William Jackson Smart, was a single parent who raised his 6 children there. After hearing a sermon about Anna Jarvis's Mother's Day at Central Methodist Episcopal Church in 1909, she told her pastor that fathers should have a similar holiday honoring them.
All right, so priest. So now we see it's not even the preacher, you understand? It's not even the pastors or the preacher of the church that came up and be like, you know what, fathers now, I mean, I had a dream, you understand, just like Martin Luther King, you understand, fathers need some respect. It's not even the preachers, man. They don't give a damn. You understand? It's the other Edomite lady, you understand, after hearing Anna Jarvis, you understand, sermon about, you understand, Mother's Day, she's like, you know what, we did this for the fathers too. Understand? Okay. This is where it comes from, man. Hey, sister, call by Shalom. Sister, you understand? This is where it comes from. You understand? Keep on going.
Come. Although she initially suggested June 5th, her father's birthday, the pastor of the Spokane Ministerial Alliance did not have enough time to prepare their sermons.
So she proclaimed June 5th, right? They're like, damn, man, that's too early. You understand? I don't have time. You understand? I gotta make a speech. I don't have time. I don't know. Now I mean, they're not on rest. You understand? Sometimes we be on the go, right? We got slavery, we got this, we got that, we got family, and we have class. And we're like, you know what? I got like 2 hours now to prepare this class. Now, here comes your preacher, you understand that? He's not even saying a damn thing that's according to the Bible. You understand?
Right.
Meanwhile, he doesn't even have time because he don't know what to say. You understand? You don't know what to say about Father's Day because that's not in the Bible. You understand? And that's how your preacher is today as well. You understand? Those sermons, you understand, that you see in the church, they do like month, prepare like month before, and they're gonna take one part of what they prepared for that day, another part for that day, another part for that day. They don't know what to say. Meanwhile, us, we do know one thing. Don't even worry about what you're gonna say. The Holy Spirit will fill you and will, you understand, will speak through you. We know that. That's in the Bible. You understand? That's in the Bible. Ask my brothers now, Officer Zabaja, Officer Shaiwan, Officer Barakala, when we at camp, man. You understand?
Right.
It just flow through us. And that's how you see that the Holy Spirit is with us, man. You understand? Meanwhile, you're preaching, you understand, for Father's Day. I ain't got time, Officer Shaiwan, Officer Barakala, Officer Zabaja. I ain't got time. You understand? Let's do it another day. You understand? I thought it was supposed to be something holy then. Something special.
Right.
Here's your pastor that doesn't even have time, and you understand, to prepare. So let's keep on going.
Come. And the celebration was deferred to the third Sunday of June.
So from Salakia, from the first week of the month, right? It takes 2 weeks after, you understand, for them to, you understand, come up, you understand, with at least one sermon for Father's Day.
Right.
You understand? 2 weeks after, man. You understand? Now that's a disgrace, you understand? Meanwhile, we at camp, you understand, it just flow, man. This is why I love camp. And you understand? And just to put a sidebar, right? And coming in General YAHANNA and the General Muhammad, you understand, will be in Toronto this next weekend, you understand? Everybody in Montreal will be in Toronto. Also, Shaiwan, also Zabaja that's already in Toronto. We will be there. We will have camp. You understand? After camp, we're gonna have class. You understand? It's gonna be amazing, man. You understand? And we don't need 2 weeks. You understand? We don't need 2 weeks. It will flow through us, man. You understand? You understand?
Right.
The Most High will speak through his prophets, man. We don't need 2 weeks to prepare, man. Go ahead.
Come. It did not have much success initially.
Of course not. Why? Because it's against God. How can you prepare for you understand, for something that is you're gonna prepare, you understand, and try to put, you understand, Father's Day with, you understand, the Bible. Meanwhile, it's not in the Bible. And white people do a lot of reading. I don't know if you know, even though sometimes they don't understand what they read, but they do a lot of reading. They know that, you understand, this is not in the Bible. It's not like you Christian, black Christian, you understand? You go to church, you don't even listen to the sermon. All you want is to sing and dance. That's all you want. Meanwhile, if you sit down and really listen to the preacher, you understand? You're going to realize he's not saying a damn thing, you understand? Everything that he says is against the Bible. Keep on going.
Okay. Did not have much success initially. In the 1920s, Dodd stopped promoting the celebration because she was studying in the Art Institute of Chicago, and it faded into relative obscurity, even in
so
Spokane.
now she going into her life and everything. She, you understand, just like, you understand, the same way a mother's like, you understand, I bought a kid because she gotta go to college. She, you understand, she gotta build a life. So now like, it's the same way with Father's Day. You understand? She didn't have time for it. You understand? I thought it was something about the father that's supposed to be meaningful. You understand? Now she's going to college. Now she got to, you understand, she got to get an education, so she doesn't give a damn about the father. Now let's put that aside. You understand? And this is what you see. Understand? Keep on going.
Okay. In the 1930s, Dodd returned to Spokane and started promoting the celebration again, raising awareness at a national level.
So where was she? I mean, all this time she wasn't promoting it.
Right.
Did her father needed love? You understand? She forgot about father's love, Father's Day. That you understand during that time. What about the time she was in college? You understand? She was just having, you understand, orgies in college. You understand, and everything. She forgot about, Father's Day. You understand? This is where you find out. You understand this culture. These type of holidays is not of God. You understand? It's just a bunch of holidays that doesn't mean a damn thing. You understand? Which is something. Go ahead, please.
I have an article on the origins of Father's Day.
Come on. Just give me a second, all right? Before the article, I want to touch on the video before, right?
Wakan.
All right. You understand? So now, I mean, just like the other feasts, you understand? They don't mean a damn thing, man. These feasts are against God, and you understand? When there's no substance behind it. If there was substance behind it, even if she was in college, she would still promote, you understand, Father's Day. Matter of fact, that's one place, you understand, you're in college, you talk to your teachers and everything, you understand, like this, that you could promote it even better. Like, you understand, knowing Edomite, she was in there, you understand, orgies and everything, you understand, sisters, how you call them now, I mean, for sister fraternity and everything. So, hey, she forgot about Father's Day. She forgot about the Father. Understand? Drop that off, SHALAM. Bring me to the video, Babu Kwash. You're gonna see that the white man. You're gonna see that Edom know about Father's Day. The white man, you understand? The white man, I know the white man is dumb, but like I say, they read a lot. They know a lot of things. You understand when it don't make sense. Even some white Edomites, young white people, oppressor, Caucasian, however you want to call them, in Canada, in Montreal, already told me like we know that black people are the real Jews, but the thing is, how come you guys read the Bible and can't see it? You understand? It's time for you to open your eyes, Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian men and women. Open your eyes, seeing what you live in, man, seeing the oppression that you're living, and realize who you are. And things, you understand, things that, I mean, like just like Father's Day, it seems meaningless. You understand? Meanwhile, we celebrate that, and what happened? We pay the consequences of that. Let's get into the video about the question.
Go on, sir.
Akim, if you want to say something, you understand? Say it, you understand? Good, all right?
Wakan.
If you have a question on the chat, right, concerning Father's Day, you understand? Put it in. Question or comment, you understand? Put it in the chat, all right? Let's keep the chat active. Go ahead, please.
Father's Day. Jesus Christ says in John chapter 8, verse 32, "And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free."
Salakia. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Now, this is for you all Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian and Christian church. You celebrate Father's Day. Now, this is about Father's Day, right? This is about Father's Day. That's an Edomite. You understand that I made this video. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Which means what? While you in the Christian church celebrating Father's Day, you still a slave. You still captive to sin. You still have a slave mentality. You understand? You are not free. You understand? You become free when you know the truth and when you do the truth. You understand? The truth shall set you free. We're telling you the truth today. You're hearing the truth today. Keep on going. So like officers, SHALAM.
The mother of Father's Day. Sonora Louise Martot was born in Jenny Lynn, Sebastian County, Arkansas, USA, on February 18, 1882, and died on March 22, 1978. She grew up having great esteem for her father. While she was listening to a sermon at a church on the newly recognized Mother's Day, Sonora was firmly convinced that it was necessary to recognize fathers. She suggested to the Spokane Ministerial Association and Young Men's Christian Association, YMCA, to establish on June 5, her father's birthday, a holiday dedicated to fathers. On June 19, 1910 in Washington, USA, the first Father's Day ever was celebrated. Both organizations gave her a lot of support. In 1966, President Lyndon B. Johnson declared the third Sunday of June as the official date for the celebration of Father's Day. A few years later, in 1972, however, President Richard M. Nixon signed a proclamation to make Father's Day a national holiday to be celebrated annually on the third Sunday in June. Some versions claim that Grace Golden Clayton, born October 4, 1875, in Barboursville, West Virginia, who died March 29, 1958, invented the idea of celebrating Father's Day after being inspired by an accident that occurred in a coal mine in December 1907. Supposedly, she suggested to her pastor Robert Thomas Webb of the Williams Memorial Methodist Episcopal Church congregation that it would be a good idea if a special day could be dedicated to all the fathers to honor and remember them. According to the version by Grace Golden Clayton, the first Father's Day was held supposedly on July 5, 1908 in Fairmont, West Virginia. Whatever the history or contemporary origin of Father's Day, it is a pagan holiday that has existed for a long time. The Roman Catholic Church has celebrated this holiday.
Now that's it. Now you have different version of this story, right? You have different version of this story about, you understand, okay, it started with this, it started with, I mean, Edomite, you understand, dogs. You understand? Edomite bitches, it's like in my words, but Edomite female dogs, right? It started with them. One over there, one over there. But one thing for sure, that it was, you understand? One thing for sure, it was celebrated way before that. Way before, you understand, we celebrated in America, there was Father's Day. You understand? And that's what you're gonna read also in the article, I believe, that Officer Barkella has for you. Understand? So like Jazz said, I'm laughing at the fact the first Father's Day sermon was an improved piece. Who knows how many other church tradition that have nothing to do with the law. All of them. All of them. None of these church tradition have to do something with the law. You understand? Like, I have this book in French, right? It's called, the religious feast. When you look at it, when you read it, it tells you almost all the religion and their feast day. None of them comes from the Bible. You understand? And those that, you understand, like you understand, like the Passover, that, you understand, that they talk about and mention, but they don't celebrate the Passover as it is in the Bible. They celebrate Easter, you understand, with the rabbit, you understand, and the eggs. You understand? None of these holidays, you understand, or these feasts, you understand, religious feasts has to do with the Bible or the laws. Just like we read, you understand, just like Officer Barakella read earlier, Leviticus 23. That's where you find the feast days in the Bible. Understand? And none of these churches are doing those feast days. Understand? Following those feast days. All right. So now we see what the origin of Father's Day. It is a pagan holiday that has existed for a long time. I didn't say it. You understand? Do your research. You're gonna find out the same thing. It's not something new. And most of these days, you understand, that we celebrate are not something new. Just like Valentine's Day, it's not something new. Just like Mother's Day. Mother's Day, there's Mother's Day in the Bible. You understand? Mother's Day in the Bible, where they celebrated and venerated the Queen of Heaven. That's Mother's Day. That's the same Mother's Day that we celebrate today. And as Father's Day as well, it's not something new. Let's go see where it comes from. Let's go off this count.
In Europe, on March 19 in honor of Saint Joseph, since the days of the Middle Ages. Many European and Latin American countries have adopted the same date as the USA. It is a very popular holiday in many countries. In addition, scholars believe that the origin of Father's Day is not a recent phenomenon, as many believe. Rather, they argue that the tradition can be traced to the ruins of ancient Babylon, as it would be expected.
Where?
That is why we must remember that
Salakia the one, ancient Babylon.
Ancient Babylon, man. Understand? Where were we slavery in Babylon?
Right.
Khan.
Believe we were. Ancient Babylon. Aren't we slavery, you understand, in America?
Khan.
So what is another name for America?
Salakia, the one.
Go ahead.
Mystery Babylon.
Mystery Babylon. Here we go again. You understand? The same thing one thing we got to understand, the same thing that's happening today happened already in Babylon, happened in Egypt. You understand? Happened, you understand, in Assyria. Happened, you understand, with the Greeks. Happened with the Romans. We watching the same thing over and over again.
Right.
The same slavery over and over again. You understand? And the same thing, you understand, just like Father's Day, Mother's Day, Christmas, Halloween, Valentine's Day, and all these nonsense, we used to celebrate them also back in the day. You understand? Under a different name. But the custom, the roots is still the same. You understand? The roots are there. You understand? Even though you understand that you might see the branches are different, but it's the same tree. You understand? It's the same nonsense. It's the same sin, which is against God, man. Let's find out a little bit more.
In ancient times, there existed peoples who celebrated pagan ceremonies to their gods. The true origin of Father's Day. Until about the year
The true origin
321
of
after
Father's
Jesus
Day.
Christ, most Christians observed the Sabbath. However, Emperor Constantine passed a law that required Christian believers to worship on Sunday, the day the pagans worshiped the sun god. 11 years later, another law was passed in
Pause.
which
Pause. Understand? On Sunday, the day the pagan worship the sun god. Why do Christian go to church on Sunday then? Anybody?
Salakia, other one. Sorry, Salakia, what was that question?
You understand? The day that, you understand, the pagan worship on the sun god, you understand, on Sunday. So now, why do Christians go to church on Sunday?
Come, Salakia, other one.
Go ahead.
Because they're worshiping false gods.
Their sun god. You understand? The same false deity, you understand? They used to worship back in the day in Babylon. You understand? Back in Sumer. It's the same deity that, you understand, Christian worship today. You understand? So you Christian, when you think you understand, you yelling Jesus and everything, you understand, you actually worshiping the sun god. Not by yelling Jesus, but following, by partaking into this cult. You understand? It's a lucky. They call us a cult. Meanwhile, they worship the sun god. We worship the living God. We worship Yahweh. They worship the sun god. They worship the sun, Akim. But we are called a cult. You understand? They celebrate Father's Day, right? But we are called a cult. Meanwhile, I can't find something for Father's Day in the Bible. Nowhere. But they don't call them cult. They call them religious. You understand? Well, you know what? You could call us cult. We are cult leaders in the UPK. You understand? Because we follow the Most High. We follow Yahweh. And we will maintain this culture, man, until Christ come back. Go ahead.
Emperor Constantine signed a decree forbidding all Christian believers from worshiping on the Sabbath. Anyone who disobeyed this decree created by Constantine was condemned to death by the Roman Catholic Church. Many Christian believers were killed for refusing to celebrate on a Sunday. Sunday was the day on which pagans worshiped the sun god, and Roman Catholics
Salaki, you telling me the Christian church killed people, you understand, for refusing to worship, the sun god?
Right.
And this is the same Christian church, the Christianity that you follow, Black, Hispanics, and Native Indian. This is the same Christianity that your parents follow. You understand? And I don't care, you understand, if you call yourself Baptist, Adventist, you understand, whatever it is, you understand, you want to call yourself, you are still a Catholic. You are still a Christian. You understand? You follow them. Go ahead, please.
Day as well. Mother's Day and Father's Day are two holidays that share a common theme, the observance of sun worship on Sunday. This coincidence confirms their connection with sun worship. Since it took place in or around the summer solstice, it is a key to unlock the mystery leading to its pagan origin. These two holidays are directly connected to sun worship. Most of our agronomic civilizations have commemorated since ancient times the summer solstice with celebrations and with sun worship, sometimes known as the great sky harvest day, and associated with the pagan ritual Wicca, which was dedicated to the Celtic god Lu. It's also known as the Holly King, the Lord of the Windwood, and darksome twin of the waning year, and it is associated with solar worship in many pagan cultures. Like all pagan rituals, it was later Christianized by the Roman Catholic Church after
It was
Constantine's reign as emperor.
Pause it for a minute. It was later Christianized by the Catholic Church, which means what? Now you understand it comes from the pagan. They know it. Well, you know what? Now let's assimilate it. Let's bring this filth. Let's bring this nastiness holiday. Let's bring this pagan worship into the church and give it to the people, send it to the people like this, they could worship. And this is how you celebrate Christmas today. Christmas is one of the biggest, you understand, demonic days. You understand? It's not about, you understand, the birth of Christ, but the birth of you understand, of a false god. You understand? And the Christian church, they knew it. They knew it has nothing to do with Christ, but they brought it, you understand, in the church and Christianized it. And now you follow it. You follow it without even knowing what you follow. Now, so come, you understand, come December 25th, you can understand, you're gonna have, you understand, a big tree in your house with light. You might put, you understand, your house on fire because of it. You understand? But you follow it because these type of feasts, holidays, has been Christianized. And you're not even taking the time to see the origin of it, which is what is really scary about it. You understand? A crackhead. This is why in the UPK we say a Christian is worse than a crackhead. A crackhead knows that he's taking crack. You understand? He knows that he's sick. You understand? He would tell you, yes, I am a crackhead. I take crack. I need help. You understand? But a Christian do not know if he needs help. A Christian will look at, you understand? Ask him, where's the origin of Father's Day? I don't know. Is it in the Bible? No. So why you do it? No one's. Everybody's doing it. It's a day to love my father and everything. Where does it come from then? I don't know. Christians are worse than crackheads, are worse than drug addicts because they don't know if they are sick. They don't know if, you understand, they are plagued by demons. You understand? Keep on going, please.
Today it is known in the Roman Catholic Church as St. John's Day, and many of his followers celebrate this day every year. It is a sad fact that many who profess to be Christians defend the practice of clinging to the rituals and traditions that have their origins in paganism.
Salakia, this is a white man. This is a white man saying this, right?
Come.
Now, this video is important for all you Black, Hispanics, and Native Indian brothers and sisters in the Christian church. Now, this is your oppressor saying this. It is a sad fact that many who profess to be Christians defend the practice of clinging to the rituals and tradition that have their origin in paganism. Here we have. Which means you're not doing goddamn thing, you understand, for God. Which means all your singing and dancing, you understand, and jiving and your tambourines and you understand, all your instrument in the church don't mean a damn thing. And this proves when we say, you understand, God is not in the Christian church. This proves when we say the Christian church is the house of Satan, man. Because you follow everything that pagan follow. Meanwhile, you don't follow none of these holidays that are in the Bible. None of them. But give you exactly a pagan feast, you will follow that. You understand? Give you exactly pagan worship, you will follow that. You got to wake up, you know. As Black, Hispanics, and Native Indian, it's time for us to wake up, man. It's time for us to realize what's going on. It's time for us to know the truth. The truth shall set you free, man. Go ahead, please. If y'all want to say something, go ahead. All right, I can.
Khan, sir.
TITHES and others of his time and calls the Christian leaders the same thing today, because most of them still continue to celebrate pagan holidays and have unfortunately flooded the church with this garbage. Mark chapter
Even
7,
you
verses
understand,
7.
just like the Christian church, though you understand, the preachers, you understand, are at fault right there, because they're not teaching you what we're teaching you in you understand, what we're showing you in the UPK. We all been Christian, all of us. You understand? Some of us like to go to church, love to go to church. Some of us didn't like to go to church. You understand? But at the end of the day, what we're learning today, you understand, in these classes, in the UPK classes by Officer Zabaja, Officer Shawan, Officer Barkella, you never heard none of these things in the Christian church. Meanwhile, you thought you were serving God. You thought you was doing something for God. You thought you had the love of God inside of you. You thought you had the Holy Spirit inside of you. Meanwhile, you were celebrating pagans holiday. Who was worshiping demons? That's what you do by celebrating pagans holiday. In other words, you worship demons, false God. You understand? All right. And Mark 7, chapter 7, verse 7, right? We're not gonna go, you understand, let the devil break it down. You understand? So Officer Barker, you could bring it up.
Khan. Mark chapter 7, verse 7.
Mm-hmm. It's in the screen.
Khan, 1 second, out of one. This is the book of Mark, chapter 7, verse 7. Howbeit, in vain do they worship, Shalaka, howbeit, in vain do they worship me.
You understand? You worship God in vain. That's what Christ is saying. You worship God in vain. You in the Christian church, you worship God in vain. Meanwhile, some of you sisters, brothers and sisters, you understand, you go in the Christian church with a sincere will to follow the Most High, sincere commitment. You understand? You want to do this. You understand? You think, you understand, all your life in the Christian church, you understand, it's something holy. You understand? Something that God is with. You understand? Meanwhile, God is not with the Christian church. In vain, you worship God. All this, you understand, going to church on Sunday, getting dressed to go to church, getting prepared to go to church, it's in vain. You're doing it in vain. You in Christianity, it's in vain. You worship God, man. You go to church on Sunday, you worship God in vain, man. Keep on going.
Teaching for doctrines.
Mm-hmm.
The commandments of man.
You're teaching, you understand, doctrine of commandment of man. You understand? You in a sect, in another word. You in a real, that's what they call a cult in the world. Why? Because you follow the commandments of man. They tell you to celebrate Father's Day. You celebrate Father's Day. They tell you celebrate Mother's Day. You celebrate Mother's Day. They tell you to celebrate Christmas. Put a tree in your house. Put some decoration on that tree. You do so. You understand? They tell you, to buy teddy bears and chocolate, you understand, on Valentine's Day. You do it. They tell you, you understand, you got to disguise yourself, you understand, for Halloween. You do it. You understand? They tell you to put some hash on your forehead. You do it. Meanwhile, you don't even go back and look up the roots of it. Look, you understand? Ask yourself, is this with God? Is this in the same accord with God? You don't even ask yourself that. Why? Because the preacher says it, you believe it. Because the pastor says it, you believe it. You understand? In vain that you worshiping God, because you follow the tradition of man. Keep on going.
Khan, verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
For laying aside the commandment of God.
You lay aside the commandment of God, and those commandments are only for Black, Hispanics, and Native Indian, 12 tribes of Israel, man. You lay these commandments aside. We tell you, you understand, don't eat pork. You say, you know what to say? Well, you understand, the laws are done away with. I could eat pork. It's not what goes into your mouth, you understand? It's what comes out of your mouth. That's what you say. Not even knowing what does that mean. You understand? That's what you said. We tell you not to kill your brother, you kill your brother. You don't give a damn. We tell you not to murder, you kill your sons, your kids. We tell you, understand, to love that man that you are with and not to have sex with another man. You know what you say? Well, you know what? I'm free. We tell you not to have sex with another man's wife. You're like, you know what? I don't give a damn. Not to have sex with, you understand, with animals, with your family man, close family relative. You say, you know what? It's fun. We tell you not to be homosexual. Well, that's another type of lifestyle, alternative lifestyle. You lay aside the commandment of God, man. And that's how you show that you worship God. That's how you show, you understand, that you love God, by following his commandments, man. You understand? Keep on going.
Khan, ye hold the tradition of men.
You hold the tradition of man, yeah? You understand? You hold the tradition of man. Meanwhile, most of you Christian, I don't follow man. Well, where does Father's Day come from then? Where does Christmas come from then? I don't know if you ever heard a Christian say, I don't follow man.
Khan.
Ask them, why do you go on church on Sunday? You understand? Why do you even go to church? Why you call yourself a Christian? You understand? Because you follow man. You're gonna celebrate, you understand, Father's Day. You're gonna tell me, you understand, that's not in the Bible, and you don't follow man. You celebrate Christmas, you follow man. You celebrate Halloween, you follow man. You eat pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster, you follow man. You understand? Meanwhile, us in the UPK, we follow the Most High. And we know that the Most High speak through his prophets. Understand? Keep on going.
Khan. As the washing of pots and cups and many other such like things ye do.
Go ahead.
Khan, verse 9. And he said unto them, full well ye reject the commandment of God, that ye may keep your own tradition.
Understand? You reject the commandments of God, man. You reject what the I.S.U.P.K is teaching, man. You reject this truth, man. Why? Because you want to accomplish your lust. Why? Because man is all about their lust. This world is all about lust. It's all about doing what I want to do. You understand? Do what makes me feel happy. Do what, you understand, makes me feel good. You understand? You don't want to suffer. You don't want to be in pain. Meanwhile, I know somebody now, I mean, that was in pain for me and you. His name is Yahawashi. You understand? I know somebody, you understand, that suffered for me and you. Meanwhile, you want to follow, you understand, you reject the commandments of God. Go ahead, please.
Khan, verse 10. For Moses said, honor thy father and thy mother.
And there you go. Honor thy father and thy mother. All right. We're talking about Father's Day today. Honor thy mother and thy father. Keep on going.
Khan. And whoso curseth father or mother, let him die the death.
Let him die to death. Go ahead.
Khan, verse 11.
All right, drop that. You understand? Whoso curses his father and mother, let him die to death. How do you curse your mother and father?
Salak, by disobeying the laws of the Most High.
Bring me more into it. It is true. It is true what you say, by following the laws of the Most High. By not following the laws of the Most High, you understand? That's how you curse your mother and your father. You understand? All right. Let me give you to you like this, right? Now, are we cursed as Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian?
Khan.
You understand? We are cursed because we're not following the laws, right? We didn't follow the laws, right?
Khan.
You understand? But physically, was it you living that didn't follow the laws?
A lot of one will be the
That was
forefathers.
our forefather, right? And we were born through our forefathers. Understand? But at the same time, we were also there back in the days as well. That's why I love to say we are. You understand? A lot of time I might say to brothers out in the world, we are, especially those, you understand, the Levites that claim to, you understand, worship their ancestors. I always love to tell them we are our ancestors. You understand? Like we have fathers, we have mothers today, right? Now they're gonna pass away, but they're gonna be born into our line. They're gonna be born in through our seed. You understand? And if we don't break that curse, they will be born into the curse. If we don't break that curse, you understand, of sin, of cursing, of curse, all children will be born, you understand, in that life of curse. And if we don't show them, you understand, to break that cycle, our parents will be born into that cycle, man. You understand? So we got to break that cycle. We got to obey the Most High. We got to honor our parents by doing the laws. We got to show reverence to our parents by keeping the laws of God. Thus, we break this cycle of sin. We break this cycle, you understand, of curse. You understand? And what happens? All children, you understand, will be elevated in the right way. And you understand, brought up in the right way. And once our fathers and mothers come back in this life, they will be brought up in the right way. Understand? Honor your parents off and your father. We do that in the UPK by following the Most High's law. You understand? Also, Shawan, give me a little bit of the video. You could just skip 10 seconds on this part, all right? I want to get to the next verse that Edom might say and brought up.
Reject the commandment of God, that ye may keep your tradition. These so-called that I have come to abolish the law, or the prophets, I have not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
There
For
we
verily
go.
I say unto you,
All right.
till have
You
not come
understand?
to
There we
destroy.
go. Now, we don't need to go to that verse, you understand? But just like we tell the Christian out there, the laws are not done away with. Christian love to say the laws are done away with. Well, this is why you following pagan holidays. This is why you worship demons, because you think that the laws are done away with. You understand? If you knew that the laws, you understand, are not done away with, you will make sure in everything that you do, you keep the laws. So you will make sure you follow, you understand, you go and search. You understand what is the foundation of Father's Day? What is the root of Father's Day? Because you will make sure, you understand, you don't break any law. You will make sure, you understand, that your ways is appeased, you understand, or correct with God. But because you think that the laws are done away with, you don't give a damn. All right. All right, Officer Shawan, you could drop that video, all right? Bubba, put the water, please. Understand? Now you see exactly the oppressive knows, you understand, that Father's Day is against the Bible. Father's Day is a pagan lifestyle, a pagan feast, pagan culture, pagan roots. All right. Also, Brian Kelly, you wanted to bring an article?
Salak Yadawan Khan.
Go ahead, please.
I have an article. It's called "Digging into the History of Father's Day."
Can you share? Can you share it, Bubba, for the people to see?
Let me see if I can share it. Give me one moment.
Officer Shawan, I believe Officer Shawan have it as well.
Because I cannot share it on the screen because I'm streaming from my phone.
Officer Shawan will stream it when it comes.
Let me get into it right now.
Go ahead.
So let me drop down to where it speaks about Father's Day. All right. So how did Father's Day come about? Fathers have been celebrated long before Christ was even born. You see, Father's Day is closely related to pagan celebrations in honor of sky fathers, summer solstice, and sun gods.
Damn. So like a priest. So you mean to tell me that that's another article that you understand that correlates that agree with the video that we just played?
Kawakan.
Yeah. That means that the research is there. You understand? The research is there. But people are not doing the research. People are not, you understand, searching, but it's there. We played a video where you see the same thing. Now, also Barakela is reading an article where you could see exactly the same thing. Keep on going, Officer Barakela. So like,
Khan. During these pagan rituals, whenever goats were sacrificed, they tied ribbons around the goat's neck. This was done to set them apart from the rest of the herd. Ever wondered where we got the tradition of gifting our fathers ties on this holiday? Sky Father. Now, according to ancient cultures, sky fathers are referred to sky gods who were looked upon as fathers. However, sky father is a translation of the Vedic pantheon Dios Pita. This Indian god is the equivalent of the Roman god Jupiter and the Greek god Zeus. Summer solstice. As mentioned earlier, Father's Day is closely related to the summer solstice pagan practices. The word solstice comes from the Latin word solstitum, which means sun stands still. It is the longest day of the year and the shortest night in the Northern Hemisphere. It is known by different names throughout the world. In Europe, for example, it is called midsummer. Weekends and neo-pagans refer to it as Lita. And to the Catholic Church, it is St. John's Day.
So Salakia, I believe next Friday in Quebec they're gonna celebrate St. John the Baptist, right?
I think it's next Friday or next Saturday. I don't want.
Yeah, because next Friday, St. John. So now you understand where that comes from. All this is the same thing, pagan worship. Understand? Summer solstice. That's what they're about to celebrate in Montreal, in Quebec. I mean, next Friday. Understand? Matter of fact, I got a question for you, Akim, and for anybody that's in the chat. Who was declared, you understand, like the first sun god throughout history?
So long, Caro.
Go ahead. It's there.
No, I had it, but it just slipped out of my mind.
Salakia.
Go ahead, Officer Shalom.
This is just a guess, just a random guess. Is this would it be Nimrod?
Then right.
Right.
Yeah.
Understand? When Semiramis, you understand, when Nimrod died, and Semiramis, you understand, had sex with whoever she had sex with, and what did she say? You understand? She became immaculately conceived by the sun ray, and that was Nimrod. Understand? That was the first sun god. So you understand, from there, you're gonna realize, right? One thing that you're gonna realize, you understand, once you dip into archaeology and history and you understand ancient history, like all these pagan deities go back to Nimrod. You understand? Zeus, right. All of them, they all go back to Nimrod. Now I mean Osiris, you understand, and so on, they all go back to Nimrod. It's the same character in different names. And that's who they worship, you understand? You understand? Just like somebody was having the class the other day, you understand? And they were saying, you understand, when Nimrod, I think it's General Muhammad, when Nimrod, you understand, didn't finish, this is why you see, you understand, the Canada, the United States, you understand, trying to take over of what Nimrod did, you understand? And finish what Nimrod started. This is why you have the Freemasons as well, you understand? To finish what Nimrod started. But it all go back. All these things go back to Semiramis, which is the queen of heaven. You understand? Right. And this is where you got Mother's Day and Nimrod. You understand? The sun god. This is where you have Father's Day. You understand? Go ahead, Officer Barkel.
Khan. All are one and the same and can trace their roots all the way back to ancient times. Pagans celebrated the summer solstice by sacrificing to the sky fathers or sun gods, and women performed pagan rituals. The festivities lasted a whole week from June 19th to 25th. Many of these traditions remain to this day.
And when they talk about the festivities, it's nothing but drunkenness, you understand, orgies and everything. What you see in the
Right.
world today, you understand? That's why when it talks about the festivities, you understand, threesome, you understand, gang bang, that's what they were doing back in the day, you understand, as ritual for the deities, right? Go ahead,
Right.
Officer Brian. Go ahead, Officer
Roman
Brian.
Roman festivals. Festivities in honor of several gods took place during the summer solstice pagan celebrations. One such example is the festival in honor of the goddess Juno, wife of Jupiter. Juno was the goddess of women and childbirth. The month of June was named in her honor.
Correct.
She was also the patroness of marriage and the reason why June remains the most popular month for wedding to this day.
So you see exactly, even in the wedding, even in marriage, right? It's not even, you understand, where you see well, this is a good time for people to get married because you understand it's hot outside, the sun are blooming and everything. No, because it all go back, you understand, to a ritual, I mean pagan ritual. It all
Right.
go back. Everything in this empire that you see, you understand, like this is why, you understand, the Bible say to be sharp, you understand, to open your eyes, to be awake, you understand, not to slumber. Why? Because everything, almost everything you see in this empire goes back to the worship of pagan idols. So you don't want to take part of that. You want to be aware. You don't want to be take part of that. You want to know what you're doing and why you're doing it. You understand? But most of, like they say, even with marriage, you understand? I'm gonna get married in June. Why? Because that same custom still coincide today, still exists today. You understand? Just like I was saying earlier, you understand? Just like Babylon, we were in slavery in Babylon. We still do the same thing. We were in slavery in Assyria. We still do the same thing. You understand? Just like the Bible says, there's nothing new under the sun. You understand? Go ahead, Officer Barkello.
Khan. The goddess Veda, goddess of the heart, was also honored during this time. Women would go to her temple for 8 days to perform rituals and offer salt and meat, asking for blessings upon their homes. Lita. Lita is an ancient pagan celebration that is still practiced today. In honor of the summer solstice and father sky, pagans and Wiccans light up bonfires on hilltops to signify the space between earth and the sky.
You understand? And Salaki, you still gonna, you understand, like they still do that as well at the bonfire. You're gonna see a bunch of Edomite going in the wood, you understand, and lighting up bonfires. When you think it's just camping, you understand, and a weekend in the woods, you understand, a weekend in nature, you actually, you understand, partaking in the ritual, man.
Right.
You understand? Be careful what you do out there, you understand? Because why? Because you don't want to take part of this same satanic, you understand, empire satanic ritual that they're doing. Go ahead, please.
It was and is considered a time to find the balance between fire and water. In ancient times, Europeans set up large wheels on fire and rolled them down a hill onto a body of water. Bonfires also have a pagan symbolism. The word bonfire comes from bone fire, to refer to the ashes and bones left over from animal and human sacrifices.
There we go, Atio. Understand? There we go. Now, I mean, to what Officer Barkella for the article, understand? That's a lot of knowledge right there. Meanwhile, you understand, a lot of black people want to, you understand, assimilate and do the same thing that these Edomites are doing. This is the culture, you understand? This is the culture of the Edom. You understand? And when you go to Leviticus 20, verse 23, God tells you not to follow the Edom, man. Not God told you not to follow, you understand, the custom of the Edoms. Meanwhile, the Christian church follows the custom of the Edom. The Christian church follows what, you understand, these other nations follow. So how can the Christian church be of God if they follow what is against God?
Right.
You understand? It doesn't make sense. Understand? Go ahead, also Barakela.
I'm gonna skip this next part because it speaks about Sonora Dodd, which we already went over at the beginning of the class.
That's right.
But this one says what it means to celebrate Father's Day. As stated over and over throughout this holiday post series, everything and anything that does not worship God worships something or someone else.
Thank you, Barakala. That's what we were saying, you understand, in class. Anything that you do outside of this Bible, you doing it for another deity. So make sure you come in class. Make sure you follow the UPK. Make sure you get the hell out of this Christian church, these Christian churches, man.
Right.
You understand? Because they don't follow God in there. So you're not following God. Who do you follow? This is why it's important. You understand? One of the verses that also Barakela love, and I see that he loves. You understand? We know what we worship. You don't know what you worship. You understand? We know we worship Yahweh. What do you worship? By following Father's Day, by following Mother's Day, by following Christmas, Halloween. You understand? What do you worship? Who do you worship? Well, I bet you don't know. But Barakela, read that part again, Baba Kwasha.
Khan, as stated over and over throughout this holiday post series, everything and anything that does not worship God worships something or someone else.
Voila. You worship something or someone else. I bet you it's not Yahweh. Because you understand, his laws, you understand, is in this Bible. And you refuse the laws. You understand? You refuse to obey the law. You say the laws are done away with. You understand? It's just like taking this book and throw it away. That's what you do. You understand? By saying the laws are done away with. Meanwhile, you worship idols. Meanwhile, you worship false gods. Meanwhile, you worship demons. That's what you do. But you know what? In the UPK, we worship God for real. We worship the only and truly living God. That's what we do. Now, do you want to worship and follow God? It's up to you. You know what to do. You understand? The sign-in link is there for a reason, for you. You understand? Fill up that sign-in link. Get in class, ask questions, be on the chat. You understand? And after, you understand, before the class, sign out. You understand? And we will see if you really want to follow God. Or you just want to follow yourself. Or anything, you understand, that's out there. Things that you don't. Go ahead, also, Barkel.
Khan. And the article each actually quotes a scripture, right? But it says, and although you may not celebrate them with the conscious intention of worshiping the enemy, we do so when these holidays were created to worship other gods.
Let's go to the precept of the article.
So, like, what was that?
Let's go to the precept.
Right. So the article quotes Hosea 4:6, right?
Yeah, right.
My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee.
You understand? Now, earlier, Salaka priest, earlier, you understand, we read, you understand, Ecclesiasticus, right? Chapter 33, verse 7. And when we read, we see, how do we know that one day was distinguished from another day? By the knowledge of the Most High. Now, this verse is important, right? Because now, this verse in Hosea chapter 4, verse 6 say, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Which means what? You black, Hispanics, and Native Indian. When God say my people, it's talking about you. You are destroyed for lack of knowledge. And that's why you're in the Christian church. That's why you smoke weed. That's why you're selling drugs. You understand? That's why you refuse the I.S.U.P.K. That's why you understand, into voodoo, Santeria. You understand? Whatever other, you understand? Whatever other name they call it. That's why you into Freemasonry. Because you lack knowledge. You understand? Because thou has rejected knowledge. You rejected the knowledge of God, man. You rejected what the priests of the Most High say, the prophets of the Most High say. You reject what Officer Baja is saying. You reject what Officer Shai One is saying. You reject what Officer Barakala is saying, man. You reject what Commanding General YAHANNA is saying. Meanwhile, we do it for you. We say it for you. You understand? You rejected knowledge, man. And this is why you celebrate Father's Day. This is why you think the Christian church has answered. Meanwhile, the Christian church has done nothing for your people, man. Yet, we only 4 over here. We only 4 over here. We have done more for our people, you understand, than the Christian church. You understand? We have been going left and right, trying to see, you know what I mean, which one can I save today?
All right.
You understand? Which one can I save today? Meanwhile, your Christian church, all they want is their money. All it is for them, you understand, is a business. Meanwhile, we give our sweat, our tears for this, for you, Black, Hispanics, and Native Indian. Understand? Look at today's Saturday night, ISUPK. Most of the people out there, you understand, they're having fun, they're partying, they're in the club right now. Where we at right now? Teaching the lost tribe of Israel. And you know what? You still reject that knowledge. Go ahead, Officer Barakello.
Khan. Further, it says, this is the type of thing that God repeatedly punished Israel for doing.
Yeah. Now, that's in the article, right?
Khan.
Now, this is why God has punished us back and back again. Why? Because we reject knowledge. We don't want to hear. And you know one thing? The same prophet that was telling you to change your life, they went in captivity with you.
Right.
They're suffering with you. The same one that God chose for, you understand, to wake you up, because you refuse to listen, them too are in this captivity or in this hell. Christ wasn't born in a kingdom where he was ruling. He was born in captivity. The same, you understand? The sons of God, the chosen son of God, the elite son of God was born in captivity. I don't know if your pastor ever told you that. The Romans was ruling over Israel during the time of Christ, man. So the King of Kings was born in captivity because you refuse knowledge, man. Understand that. Understand that. Maybe you will change your life. Like this, none of us will get to be born in this captivity, but we'll be born in our kingdom, man. You refusing knowledge means we will still be stuck in this hell. Understand? Go ahead, Officer Barakello.
Khan. I'm almost done with the article because I'm gonna cut it short. It is spiritual adultery, and no matter how you may look at it.
Salakia, Rich. Did I asked you for that verse too, right? Get that verse ready afterwards, all right?
Khan. After the article, I got the verse ready for you.
Repeat that again, Baba Question.
It is spiritual adultery, and no matter how you may look at it, it will remain pagan.
You understand? Now, for anybody that's in the chat, what does that mean? Spiritual adultery. I know your pastor never told you that. I know your pastor, your Christian preacher never told you. You understand that we committed adultery against God. The same way that a woman, you understand, a woman as a man and she has sex with another man, she committed adultery. The same way you have a man, you understand, you're a man and have sex with a woman that already have a man, you committed adultery. But you know what? There's something that's called spiritual adultery. And when you follow these pagan holidays, when you go in the Christian church, that's what you do. You commit spiritual adultery. Also, Barker, let's get a little bit more of what you got.
Khan. You can change the name, change the traditions. They were never ordained by God.
Right. How do we know one day excel another day? How do we know a day, you understand, is sanctified above another day? By the knowledge of the Most High. But you reject the knowledge. Now you call, you understand, the birth of Nimrod, or you understand the birth of Osiris, you understand, whatever, you understand, you want to call it, you understand, you call it, you understand, Christmas. Now you call, you understand, that ritual, you understand, the worship of the sun God, you call it Father's Day. Now you call, you understand, the worship of the Queen of heaven, which is Semiramis, you call it Mother's Day. But you know what? No matter how you call it, it is the same tree. You understand? You could call an orange an apple, it's still gonna be an orange.
Right.
The same way you could call, you understand, a man a woman, but that man's still a man and always will be a man. You could call, you understand, a woman a man, but that woman will still be a woman. You understand? It's not gonna change. The same way, Father's Day will still be pagan, man. It's still the worship of the sun. You understand? Mother's Day is still the worship of Semiramis, the queen of heaven, man. You understand? Sister Barakwa Islam says, Yaw Shmar Tabashim Yaw Shah. You understand? Follow other culture, custom culture by adoring other gods. Come. Sister Carla said, we prostitute ourselves to other gods. Come. You understand? And that's how we prostitute ourselves, by not following what God says to do. By not following, you understand, this Bible, these laws, just like also by Keller say, this is why, you understand, Israel was punished. You understand? Back after back. Slave punishment after punishment. This is why, because we refuse to follow this. It is simple as this. The white man has his constitution. You understand? I don't know if you ever seen the patriot, you understand, white man. You understand? They're all into their constitution, man. I want gun right. You understand? You can take my guns away from me. That's part of my constitutional rights, man. You can take the guns away from me. You understand? Everybody love their constitution. But you know what we do as Black, Hispanics, and Native Indian? We reject this Bible, our constitution. We reject our laws. We want to do what white people do. We want to do what Africans do. We want to do what Chinese do. Meanwhile, they have their own constitution. They love their constitution. They will die for it.
Right.
We will be willing to reject ours. Meanwhile, this is what is going to bring us life. This is what's going to change your life. This is what's going to change your house, man. You have a house that follows this Bible, man, there will never be any problem. There will never be any problem. Matter of fact, God will elevate this house. God will make this house become rich, you understand? God will furnish this house, man, because they follow this. Understand?
Salakia, the one.
Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Yeah, if I may, just something you were saying is so heavy. It's like those devils straight up stormed the Capitol. They stormed the White House for their constitution.
Right.
Where's a Black, Hispanic, and Native American fighting for the laws of their God?
Not. Except in the UPK.
Right.
And what you say is true. Where are we? We want to scream Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. If it really matters, well, come do these laws. Come in class. Come in the UPK if it really matters. Let's see how much Black Lives matters to you then. Black Lives Matters, you still aborting your kids. Black Lives Matter, you still worshiping, you understand, another deity. You still following the custom of another deity, but you can call him Black Lives Matter. Nah, white man life matter to you. You understand? Because that's who you follow. Salakia. You wanted to say something else, Officer Shawan?
Nah, sir. Nah. I was just thinking of that precept in Nehemiah where it says we fight for our laws, we fight for our women and our kids. And it was just a powerful thing with what they were doing back then and how much we had love for our own people.
Right. Right.
Yeah, that's all I want.
Come on. And that's the same love we gotta have, you understand, if we want to get out this hell. You understand?
Right.
This is the same love that we have to have. You understand? We need to, and that's why, you understand, the UPK is such an amazing place, because the UPK is the only way, you understand, the only place where we fight, you understand, for our people. You understand? Just like back in the days. The UPK and the ISUPK and the Community General YAHANNA is the only place where you receive the truth, man. Just like the Edomite says, you understand, in the video, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Well, we're telling you the truth every day. You understand? We're telling you the truth every day in the UPK. Do you want to be free? You understand? The sad thing is, some of y'all think y'all free. Meanwhile, you celebrate Father's Day and don't even know where it comes from.
Right.
You understand? Officer Bakela, that was it for the article?
One last paragraph, short.
Salakia, priest.
Go ahead, priest.
If I may, shalom to the brothers and sisters, right? There was something you said earlier, right, with the Christian pastors. They know that Father's Day is evil. Tomorrow is going to be Sunday. There's going to be a bunch of services. We know that during Father's Day, many fathers who are Black, Hispanic, and Native American who want to see their children, they're not going to be able to see their children. They're going to be hurting because they know their children are being raised by a demon, a monster, who's not going to let them see their children. And not a single pork eating, shrimp eating, adulterous pastor is going to say anything.
Right.
There's not going to be any service about let that man see his child, because you're raising that child to be an effeminate boy. Let that man raise his daughter because she needs she needs her father. Not a single Christian pastor is going to say that. And it's such a terrible thing that our brothers and sisters are so lost in the deep love that they have for their oppressors, that they're not going to understand that Father's Day is inherently evil.
You understand? That's powerful what you say, you understand? That's powerful, man. You understand? And one thing that I gotta tell to these sisters, right? In the kingdom, you won't be able to take that child away.
Right.
Understand?
Right.
You might do so in the white man kingdom, but in you understand, in our kingdom, you won't beat. I mean, that child, you either you live and live that child. You understand? You live or you abide. You understand? You live the house or you abide. And you understand? If you live the house, you're not gonna have another man. It's a lie. You understand? You're not gonna have another man. Forget about it. You understand? But you understand, that's powerful what you say, because you understand, tomorrow a lot of fathers, you understand, gonna want to see, you understand, their children, and they won't be able to see their children, man. You understand, because of a monster. All right. Also, Barakali, you got it.
Khan. So the author of the article said, and please, whatever you do, do not say that you're honoring this holiday to honor God, who is our heavenly Father. I do not believe there can be a bigger blasphemy. All the holidays held by the world are man-made traditions that are deeply rooted in paganism.
Yeah, we
That's
got
the
the
other
answer.
one.
Salak. We don't follow man. I don't follow man. Well, don't celebrate none of their holidays then. Understand? Meanwhile, Christians celebrate all these pagan holidays and say that I don't follow man. Yeah, you do follow man. You don't follow God. Understand? You follow man. You don't follow God, because if you follow God, you will be in the UPK. That's it.
Right.
You're not in the UPK. You follow man. You don't follow God. You worship demons. You worship Satan. Understand? All right. Also, Barakala, you got the verse.
Khan. This is Ezekiel chapter 23, verse 37.
Like that. Now we're gonna give you the spiritual adultery in the Bible. All right. Go ahead.
That they have committed adultery.
They have the what?
Committed adultery.
Now who's the they?
Salak, the other one.
Go ahead.
That would be the nation of Israel, blacks, Hispanics, and natives.
You understand? That will be us, black, Hispanics, and native Indian. We have committed adultery. Now, to the unlearned mind, to the, you understand, unlearned ears, how would a nation commit adultery? Who are we married to? Go ahead.
Right. Khan. And blood is in their hands.
Mm-hmm.
And with their idols have they committed adultery.
With the what?
Their idols, and with their idols have they committed adultery.
Understand? With their Father's Day.
With their idols
with
have
their
they committed. With their idols.
You understand? With their Christmas.
With their idols.
With their idols, man. You understand? You following this thing. You understand? I understand. You understand? A lot of Christians don't want to be called Catholic. You understand? Because the Catholics, they worship, you understand, statues and everything. They bow down in the front of the statue. Well, you know what? You celebrate Father's Day, you doing the same thing.
Right.
You understand? You celebrate Christmas, you doing the same thing. You understand? You're not physically, you understand, kneeling down in front of the statue, but you still worship another, you understand, false God, false deity, which is equivalent to the same thing. You understand? And your idol is Semiramis and Nimrod. That's what you do. You understand? Keep on going.
Khan. And have also caused their sons whom they bear unto me.
And I also, I mean, did what?
They also and have also caused their sons,
Okay,
whom they have reared.
Officer Barker, just give me a moment, right? Officer Shawan, bring me to Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 14, Bible question.
Come, sir.
Understand? For those that would say, well, we are not married to the Most High, you understand? How can Israel be married to the Most High? Let's hear what the Bible says.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 3, verse 14.
Go ahead.
Turn, O backsliding children.
Turn, O backsliding children, man. You understand? Stop doing the evil, you understand, that you are committing. You understand?
Right.
Come follow the laws. Come follow what you got to follow. Come follow your constitution, man. Come in class in the UPK and learn how to live your life. Go ahead.
Saith Yahweh, for I am married unto you.
For I am what?
Married unto you.
Now, this is what God said. God is married to the children of Israel, man. Which means what? God is for you. God is, you understand? What is the name lawyer mean? Joined to God. God wants to be joined to you, Israel, man. You understand? God is married to you, Black, Hispanic, Native Indian. And that these words should be something in your heart that be like, you know what? God loved me so better than the white. You understand? God loved me and he doesn't love the white man. God loved me, he doesn't love the Chinese man. God loved me, he doesn't love the Arab, the African, the Hindus, but God loved me. This should bring joy into your heart. This you understand, should make you want to change your life because God is married to you, man. Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. Not in the context of the Christian church where the Christian sister is like, well, God is my man, God is married to me. Nah, not to you only, but to all Israel, man. You understand? I know the Christian church, y'all saying Christian ladies want to say, well, God is my husband. Meanwhile, you done have sex with, with the whole neighborhood. You understand? Now you think that God is your husband? Nah, God would God would want virgins. So like, you understand? And that's why he gave virgin to priests. You understand? God is not married to just you, but God is married to Israel, you understand, as a people. God is not married to just me, but to us as Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, man. You understand? God chose us, just like a man chooses his wife, man. You understand? Also, to what also, shall I want also Barakela, go ahead.
Canada Wakan. And have also caused their sons, whom they bear unto me.
You understand? And you understand, we even our sons, even our kids, you understand that we bring forth to God. What do we do to our sons and daughters? We show them the same way, you understand, that we live a life. We show them how to celebrate Father's Day. How many mothers, you understand, that's gonna give that children a gift, you understand, to bring to his father? You understand? How many fathers, you understand, that would give gifts, you understand, to the child to bring to his mother? You understand? We don't calculate this life. We don't, you understand, ask questions. We don't realize what we do. We just do what everybody does.
Salakia, priest.
Go ahead, priest.
Salakia, something that you just said, it also brought something else to my mind. Tomorrow, a lot of single mothers who kick their husband out of the house for having a nether rib are going to present themselves with Father's Day's gifts, because in their mind, they're independent and they're the father and the mother.
So good. Good, that's true. You understand? That's true. And you understand, it's an abomination, man. It's something nasty and disgusting to do, man. You understand? To celebrate Father's Day and Mother's Day. And also to take, you understand, that child away from that father, man. You understand? And one thing that you sisters have to understand, that child comes from, you understand, let me be explicit a little bit, the nutsack of his father. You were just the recipient that carried that child. You understand? Just like a bottle, the bottle of wine. You understand? That's what you are. But that, you understand, when we think about, you understand, of that child, you understand, that was brought forth, you were the recipient. Meanwhile, that child, you understand, was in the testicles of this God for the longest. You understand? This is why I said earlier, once we in the kingdom, you won't be able to take that child away. Now you have the white man kingdom. Now you could do it. Feel free. You understand? But it won't be so in our kingdom. You understand? It won't be so in our kingdom. Every child will have their father in our kingdom. You understand? But this is exactly what God says, man. You understand? Those kids, you understand? We raise those kids, you understand, to disobey God, to worship idols, you understand?
Right.
Officer Barkella, is that it?
Salak, a lot one. And have also caused their sons, whom they bear unto me, to pass for them through the fire to devour them.
Read that part again.
Karawakan. And have also caused their sons, whom they bear unto me, to pass for them through the fire to devour them.
What does that mean? To pass through the fire to devour?
Salak, Yadawan. To pass them through the fire would be like by teaching them to worship other gods, or to follow after the culture of heathens, right? We're sacrificing our children.
Give him a hand. Give also Barkella a hand. Understand? That's exactly what it means. You're sacrificing your children by showing your children to celebrate, you understand, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Christmas, Halloween, you understand, Valentine's Day. You sacrificing your children. You claim to love your children, right? Well, if you claim to love your children, show them the proper way to be. You understand? Show them righteousness instead of showing them, you understand, this evil and filth that we're living in this life, in this kingdom, man. Show them how to execute the words of God. Be an example for them. But you know what? You won't do it because yourself, your life is on nothing about lusts, about your flesh, about having fun, about your desires, about what makes you happy. Understand? Meanwhile, don't forget it. We know in the UPK, we know somebody, you understand, the greatest man that suffered for keeping these laws. Suffered for me and you. Understand? Now, all you want to do is have fun and party. All you want to do, you understand, celebrate just like everybody celebrate. Well, if I don't do it, people are going to think I'm weird. People are going to think, you understand, I'm strange. People are not going to want to, I want to have friends. Nah. Matter of fact, when you obey the laws of the Most High, this is when people respect you, man. This is when people look at you with value, man. Understand? Well, show your kids how to have value. Show your daughters and your sons how to have value, you understand? And be an example of that. Go ahead, Officer Bakela.
That was it with the verse, out of one.
All right, bring me to Jeremiah and Salakia. Revelation 18, verse 4.
Kanawakan.
Also, Shawan, can you bring me to Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 45? I have a question.
Come on, sir.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, "Come out of her, my people."
There you go. There you go. Come out of her, my people. Understand? Why does it say my people in this verse? Who is it talking to? Now we're in the New Testament. You understand? We're in the book of Revelation, Apocalypse. You understand? Why is it saying my people?
Salak Yarawan is addressing the nation of Israel, the children of Israel.
Exactly. You understand? The children of Israel. Why? Because this Bible is about the children of Israel. You understand? Just like a conversation I was having with a brother from Haiti. You understand? My best friend in Haiti, right? Now he's a pastor today. You understand? He's a pastor today, but you understand? Yeah, he had the nerve, you understand, to come and ask questions, you understand, and everything. And I showed him, you understand, like this Bible is for Israelite. You understand? Israelite and only Israelite. These are the nations. Salvation is not for everybody. Salvation is for you, Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. Meanwhile, the people that put you in the slavery, in this oppression, will die, will be, you understand, slaughtered by Christ. Understand? By the order of the Most High Yahweh. Understand? Go ahead, Officer Barakala.
Kanawakan. That ye be not partakers of her sins.
Flee
And
from her, that ye be not partakers of her sin. You understand? Which means what? Don't do what you see this empire is doing, man. I know you understand this hard. I know this is how you was living your life back in the days. But now the truth should set you free. Now you have the truth. Now you know you gotta be different. Now you know you can't be not no whore out there. Now you know you can't, you understand, can't be no drug dealer. Now you know that you can't be, you understand, celebrating Father's Day, Mother's Day, and so on. Why? Because these things are sins. These things are against the Most High, man. Flee from her, man. Separate from her, my people, man. All you Black, Hispanics, and Native Indian. And don't take part of their sin. Don't do what this culture is doing, man. Go ahead.
And that ye receive not of her plagues.
Why? Because there's gonna be punishment, you understand? There's gonna be judgment that's gonna come on the earth because of all this evil that you see, man. Something as small as celebrating Father's Day, there's gonna be a judgment for it. And you don't want that judgment. And we love you so much, we warn you. And this is the job of a prophet, to warn you. You understand? This is why Officer Shah is there. This is why Officer Zabaja is there. This is why Officer Barakal is there. So like, if you understand, if I put it in ranks order. But you understand, this is why we there. This is why Officer 5000 Aban is there. Why? Because we here to warn you before that judgment day come, man. And there's gonna be a judgment, you understand, a price to pay for your sin, for the sin of this world. You don't want to be part of it. You don't want to die. You don't want to die like the rest. You don't want to suffer like the rest. But you want to have glory for that when that day comes. You want to say Kwam Yasharala when that day comes. You understand? You want to say to water Yahweh with Yahweh Shai when that day comes. You understand? Go ahead, Officer Barakala.
Kawakan, verse 5. For her sins have reached unto heaven.
For her sins have reached up to heaven, man. You understand? Just like you have a glass, you understand? You're filling up that glass with water. And you understand? You're just filling it up. At one point, that glass is going to overflow. Well, this is the same metaphor that, you understand, God is using for the sin of this empire, the sin of the oppressor, the sins of the other nation, man. And you understand? Don't be partakers of their sin, because their judgment is gonna be great. Meanwhile, your glory gonna be even greater. You understand? I want to see you in glory, Black, Hispanics, and Native Indian. Understand? Go ahead.
And God hath remembered her iniquity.
You understand? Go ahead.
Kawakan, verse 6. Reward her even as she rewarded you.
You understand? That's what God is gonna do. God is gonna reward this empire, this thinking. You understand? You understand? Edomite empire, man. God is gonna reward it. I don't know if y'all are watching the news, but this world is going into a direction which is absolutely, demonic, with all this transgender agenda. You understand? These what you might call it? You understand? These what you might call it now? There's these they're not transsexual, but you understand, the cross-dresser agenda and everything. Going in church, you understand, teaching kids, you understand. They want to, you understand. Now you have, you understand, teachers that's coming out with they should make pedophilia legal. This world is going in the other direction, and we should not, you understand, be partakers of that. All right. That was it, Officer Barkella?
Loud one, Salakia.
Go ahead.
And double unto her, Salakia, and double unto her, double according to her works.
You understand? Which means what? They're going to have to suffer and pay for their sin. You understand? They're going to have to, and especially for, you understand, the sin of touching Black, Hispanics, and Native Indian. If the white man was a smart man, If the white man had any type of knowledge or wisdom, he would have never touched the black, Hispanic, Native Indian. You will have it, you understand, hell to pay for it. Also, you drop that off Barkel. Also, Shawan, bring me where you at. We'll come.
Book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, and verse 55.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Lord has spoiled Babylon and destroyed out of her great voice.
Salakia, verse 45.
Sir. Verse 45. My people, go ye out of the midst of her.
Now, there you go again. Understand? And one thing that you're going to understand, everything that's written in the New Testament is also in the Old Testament.
Right.
Understand? For those Christians that say, well, the New Testament is different from the Old Testament. Well, what did they have in the New Testament before the New Testament then? Where were they reading from? Old Testament, which means it is the same thing. It just, you understand, the New Testament bring you more explanation because of Christ. You understand? Christ did it. You understand? He did it perfectly. You understand? And he showed the brothers how to do it. Now you have the explanation. You understand? You have the, you understand, the breakdown of the Old Testament. That's all. You understand? But it is the same thing. You understand? Go ahead, also, Shawan.
And deliver ye every man his soul from the fierce anger of the Lord.
Deliver ye every man his soul. What does that mean? What is a soul? What is your soul?
Salaki, other one. That's who you are.
Exactly. Deliver your soul, your mind, your spirit. You understand? Which will mean what? Take yourself out of this Babylon. Take yourself out of this sinful life. You understand? Come out of there, my people. You understand? Right. Which means the same thing. Keep on going.
Verse 46. And lest your heart faint, and ye fear for the rumor that shall be heard in the land.
You understand? You could drop that. You understand? But this is what is important. You right? Come out of her, my people. Like this, you don't take part of her sin. There's gonna be hell to pay because you celebrate Father's Day. Your children might die. You understand? You might. Your father might die. You understand? For celebrating Father's Day. You understand? Well, you know what? Let's break that curse. You understand? I wish, you understand? Just like, you understand, General Miami, you understand, say all the time, I wish none of us die. I wish we all could live forever.
Right.
You understand? I wish our name could be there forever when we come back in this life. You understand? When we come back in this life, we still have our name, you understand, running around this earth. You understand? And that's the glory that we're going to have as Black, Hispanics, and Native Indian. That's the glory that we're going to have if we strive, you understand, until the end. You're going to hear Shawan name. Shawan going to come back in life, you understand, in this life, and he's going to hear Shawan name, you understand? Like,
right.
I think I was the Shawan, man, you understand? That was me, you understand? Because why? Why? Because we strive, understand, until the end. And that's how we're going to live forever, man. Our name is going to be on this earth. You understand? This is why you're here, you understand? And the book of Moses. Now, I was watching something before the end of the class, right? I was watching something the other day, and somebody was saying, I believe it was on TikTok or something, or YouTube. The person was saying, well, you know what? Don't you realize like almost every movie that the white man is doing is always has something to do with the Bible? There's always a biblical connotation behind it, and they're always trying to use the characters or the name of the characters in the Bible, give them similar attributes and everything. Well, you know what? God, those brothers in the Bible, they live forever.
Right.
Then you understand, after 6,000 years, you understand, 4,000 years, their name is still there in this life. They're still being talked about in this life. Well, that's gonna be us as well. All we got to do is strive till the end. All we got to do is refuse Father Day, refuse Mother Day, refuse the sinful life, and change our life for the Most High. That's all we got to do. Now, do you want to do it? That question is only you can answer. We made our choice. We already made ours. You understand? That's why we're here in the UPK. What about you? With that being said, you understand? Don't forget, you understand, we have, you understand, next weekend, you understand, we will be in Toronto, coming in General YAHANNA, you understand? Come General Muhammad. Canada, you are being blessed without even knowing, you understand, the amount of blessing, you understand, the Messiah is sending to you by sending, you understand, his favorites, you understand, towards you, you understand, Canada. You are being blessed, you understand, by the Most High, by having men, you understand, that strive for this nation, man. You understand? But you will understand about it, you understand, maybe when it's too late. You understand? I hope not. But you understand, we're gonna be in Toronto next weekend. You understand? Be there if you can be there, you understand. Contact Officer Aban ASAP. You understand? Like this, you could be arranged, everything could be arranged for you, you understand, to be there and everything. All right. That being said, understand, I will conclude this class. Canada, you understand, Israel, Black, Hispanic, Native Indian men and women. I say Shalom, Israel. I pass the class to Officer 500, Child 1.
Let's clap it up for Officer 1000 out of your. Do the I.S.U.P.K security announcements. So, like it, these are the I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K. Start out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to show themselves of the world. They need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can read it in Numbers chapter 18, verse 21. In the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 to 10. Ma'ashura means tenth in the Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests is not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. We have the memorial of blowing of trumpets, which will be held on Sunday, the 25th of September. You can read about it in the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verses 24 to verse 25. Any brother who wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirts, pants, headband, and scarf. With that said, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the brothers and one courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Imadium, which means stand. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the brothers. Men of Israel, Imadium Shabbat. Imadium, Barak. Yad Yamatah, which means hands down. Sar, and face the sisters. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Imadium Shabbat. Imadium, Barak. Yahweh Shamar, Alafam, Bashir, Yad Yamatah. Class dismissed.
Yeah. Hey, make me go again. Yo. I 1 West to the death. Yeah. Fuck everything else. Big boot on me fringes. Girl, I tell me say she love the way how me change it. Everything sign and seal. Then I tell me say she love the deal. Yeah. Big boot on me fringes. Girl, I tell me say she love the way how me change it. If I don't know you pick my youth, me I tell you no straight out. And I'm in business, yeah. Man, I move real heavy. 20 man, I jump out a couple Chevy. Well, serious, man, no look happy. Wrong move, turn a boy in a dopey, them a waste, man. Them a talk about me, but me no care, man. After everything else, me still be upon. Cause the truth, me attack at the truth, and the part me a sleep on. Yeah, delivered it off fire. Everything up in the air like fire, bonfire. But I can't tell ya how and I'm dead soul, let them have to rise in power. Liar, SHALAM. This is what for my brothers and my sisters. We get caught off early. Big boot on me fringes. Girl, I tell me say she really love all the changes. If I don't know you picking my youth, me I telling me straight out. And I'm in business, yeah. Big boots on me braids, man. Yeah, me not left me shades on. Special type of gun for this occasion. Hardcore, can't tip on me right hand. Everything talking real neat. Tell a boy I come just through him, no sit discreet. Him a trouble for breed. I am no shotty. Me conscience it a speak. Rats and snakes, them throat get slit. Yeah, me give them the realness. Don't start freak out when 200 million of me niggas them out. Yeah, shot in a face, shot in a mouth. Rise it up, balance the soul reaper. Make evil stay far. Yeah, well, I know what I say. The truth though, I saw the thing go, man. Move. Big boot on me fringes. Girl, I tell me say she love the way how me change it. If I don't know you picking my youth, me I telling no straight out. And I'm in business. Big boot on me fringes. Big boot on me fringes. Boot on me fringes. Yeah, I'm telling you. One West or nothing else.